So New York might elect its first socialist as a mayor, but I want to start with a question that's become disturbingly fashionable for this guy, Zohran Mamdani. And it's simply this: should billionaires exist? I want to know what you think, but let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome to the Shermichael Singleton Show. I'm your host, Shermichael Singleton. Now, the average American, probably many of you who are watching this video, who works hard, budgets wisely, maybe dreams of building something big, something significant, something magnanimous, would hear that question, should billionaires exist, and say, well, if you work hard, if someone creates value, builds a business, employs people, gives back to the community, why not? But that's the new breed of ideological activists who call themselves democratic socialists. The existence of wealth itself is treated as a moral offense, not because it was stolen, that's a different question, but simply because someone else doesn't have it. Does that mean it's bad? I don't think it is, and you probably don't think it is either, particularly if you work hard and you're giving back and you're doing the right thing. And a lot of people who have amassed a significant amount of wealth do give a whole lot of it back. Mamdani is a card-carrying member of the Democratic Socialist of America, and he's the kind of person who believes equity means equal outcomes, not equal opportunity. And I don't know how you can really guarantee equal outcomes unless you're going to be limiting what success really is. And I don't want anyone limiting what the limits may be for me any more than you would want someone to limit what your limits may be in your pursuit of your goals, your dreams, your ambitions. So Mamdani was recently asked in an MSNBC interview whether or not billionaires should exist. Let's take a look at what he said.
You are a self-described democratic socialist. Do you think that billionaires have a right to exist?
I don't think that we should have billionaires because, frankly, it is so much money in a moment of such inequality. And ultimately, what we need more of is equality across our city and across our state and across our country. And I look forward to work with everyone, including billionaires, to make a city that is fairer for all of them.
So Mamdani made it clear he doesn't believe billionaires should exist. He believes the very existence of billionaires is wrong. That's not economics. That's envy masquerading as morality. But if you follow the logic, and just follow me for a minute, if you really follow it, it really does collapse under its own weight. I'll tell you why. Let me ask a question Mamdani certainly will not answer. How many billionaires are too many? Is it 10? Is it 5? Is it 1? And then who decides that? Is it him? Is it Bernie Sanders? Is it AOC? Is it a select committee? And hell, who decides the members of the said committee? And once we've abolished the billionaires, whatever that means, then who comes next? What comes next? The people worth 500 million, 100 million. What about the family that sold their small business for 20 million after 40 years of sweat and sacrifice? Are they too rich now? Do we move down the ladder until we are punishing the upper middle class, the first generation immigrant entrepreneur who finally escaped poverty? Does that include Mamdani's own parents, both of who are immigrants and also multimillionaires? Does that include Bank Street, the private Manhattan private school he attended that, by the way, cost $66,000 a year for elementary school? Mamdani went there. Because of his parents' hard work, they were able to build some wealth and send their child to a very exclusive school. Anyone would do the same if they had the means. But according to Mamdani's logic, his parents wouldn't have their wealth, and that school wouldn't even exist. You would have no opportunity to send your kids to such a school after working so hard. What about Black or Latino entrepreneurs who broke generational curses, lifted up their community, and became multimillionaires? Are their millions now morally suspicious too? You see, that's the problem. That's the issue with Mamdani's vision. It's not just that it's economically flawed. It's that it never stops, because envy doesn't know how to stop it. It only knows how to consume. And here's the truth. You don't lift up the poor by tearing down the rich. You lift up the poor by creating more opportunities. It's opportunities that gave me an opportunity. I guess that's a bit of a double entendre. It's opportunities that will beget more opportunities for you and your children, that will open the doors to successes that maybe you dreamt of, but worked hard so that they would have at their fingertips. Not by redistributing crumbs after you've destroyed the bakery. In a market economy, a billionaire doesn't take, they build. No one was forced to buy an iPhone. No one was dragged into Tesla's showroom at gunpoint. People freely chose those products. And in doing so, they created wealth, not just for the billionaire, but for thousands, sometimes millions of employees, shareholders, vendors. That's called voluntary exchange. And it only operates and functions in a capitalist society. And it's the foundation of prosperity, the prosperity that Mamdani wants to take away. And so what Mamdani and his fellow socialists want isn't justice. It's not justice at all. It masquerades as justice, but it's really control. It's control over your wallet, your ambition, my ambition, and eventually it will control our beliefs. Mamdani and people like Mamdani want to take the engine that built America and replace it with a steering wheel made of bureaucrats. But it gets even worse. Because when you build a political identity on purity tests and resentment and revolutionary slogans, eventually you will become the heretic. And Mamdani just experienced that lesson the hard way. Take a look at this next clip.
What do you say? I have a question. What do you say about politicians that constantly reaffirm Israel's right to exist? Because people like me are constantly attacked by politicians for standing up for Palestine, and you are constantly defending the right for Israel to exist. My family is in Palestine right now, constantly under attack, and I'm hearing you say free Palestine, but also Israel has the right to exist. Don't be hypocritical. Don't be hypocritical and say free Palestine when you're also defending the right for Israel to exist. It does not have the right to exist. It does not have the right to exist. It's not your land to say it has the right to exist.
And there it is. The revolution turning on its own, and Mamdani, after parodying every radical slogan imaginable, had the audacity to acknowledge the existence of a country recognized by the United Nations. And for that, what did he get? He was called a traitor by his own movement. Now, Mamdani previously would not acknowledge Israel's existence, but recently, in some news interviews, he acknowledged the existence, in part because New York has the second largest Jewish population outside of Israel. Mamdani wants to be mayor of New York, so he's politicking a little bit, but I don't know if he really believes it. And clearly, that particular gentleman who was wearing that scarf, or Palestinian scarf, and I'm probably not naming that correctly, so excuse me for being wrong, but that gentleman was clearly angry with Mamdani. But that's the problem with socialism and its cousin cultural Marxism. It's not just that the economic math doesn't work. It's that the moral math collapses. You're either the loudest voice in the mob or you're the next on the chopping block. You must not only say the right things, but you must say them with the correct fury and fervor in the approved order with zero nuance. There is no room for doubt, no tolerance for heterodoxy, no allowance for good faith. And in Mamdani's world, solidarity is demanded, but never reciprocated. It's a movement that devours its own because it knows nothing else. That is the destiny of every revolution built on envy. It always ends and purges, not just progress. So here's the truth about Zohran Mamdani, the truth that he doesn't want to face. If you teach people that wealth is theft, they will punish success. If you teach them that disagreement is violence, they will silence thought. If you teach them that that justice is only found in resentment, eventually, they will come for you, just as that gentleman did in that clip. Or maybe they'll go after Mamdani's father or his mother for their success, for their wealth. Because envy doesn't end, ladies and gentlemen. It never ends. It escalates. And when that happens, Mamdani won't be a hero of the revolution. He'll be its next casualty. It's one thing to have a conversation about the growing wealth disparities. We have to address that. That's why Donald Trump has done so well with blue-collar workers. And we're seeing those numbers increase for Republicans in general with communities of color. Because people are struggling, they're suffering, and we absolutely have to address that. And artificial intelligence and the advancements in technology will only make that more difficult. Let's have that debate. But we should never get to the point where we're punishing success. We shouldn't take from Peter or rob from Peter to pay Paul. as my grandfather used to say, it never works. And when that next casualty becomes Mamdani's mother, becomes his father, becomes him, ladies and gentlemen, you might be next. I'm Shermichael Singleton. Thanks for watching this episode. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Mamdani's democratic socialism? Does it have a place in America? Is that the right way to answer the wealth divides in our country? I don't think it is, but I'm open to hearing what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.